the following presentation of the National Football League.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be our visitors taking on our home team. On the visiting sideline, their head coach. These guys responded well to their season-opening loss, winners a week ago. His counterpart on the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys ready to show out in front of the home fans as they try to send them home happy at the end of this one. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
And I think if you're handing out hardware through 2 weeks of the season, he might be your MVP. Already 7 touchdown passes in just 2 games. As we do know, though, in real life, they don't hand you out anything this early. A lot of games left to get through between now and the playoffs.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Operating from the gun, Leonard. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw, Leonard. Short throw caught by the tight end, Oliver. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Now a first carry here for the running back. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. When you look at this defense, they're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
They've established themselves as a top 10 run-stopping unit in the NFL here in the early going. All signs point to me towards them continuing that throughout the season. They look pretty good, pretty darn cohesive to me.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw. Leonard. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. And on now is the punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
That's the ratio you say you're okay with,
If
right?
you go 3 to 1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Pollard the target on the crossing route, and he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there. Here's a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
2nd and 13. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
A gain of 26 yards. And a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. And the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all this stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll try to run this one in, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. So both sides of the football contributing here early. Their defense forces the punt, and then the offense takes it down the field and punches it in on the short touchdown run.
And, Brandon, that's good complementary football, and that's what they're going to need if they want to get out of here victorious.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Back to throw now on first down. That's into the hands of Oliver. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. From the 41, here's second and 6. On second down, they'll run it here. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. It's a quarterback sneak. And it'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
And he hits him in stride. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A great play there. 32 yards. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play. And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now a play fake here on first down. Looking downfield for Pollard. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10.
It's now 2nd and 10.
There's a short one caught by Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Result is a first down.
Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 14 for the second play in a row.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Here's Booker on the catch. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
A gain of 27 on the play. Results in
They'll run on first down. It's Chambers. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Now 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll keep it on the ground. Chambers. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And his guys have taken the lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd down.
They'll try and sneak it here. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Give him 2 on the play there. And that'll be good enough for the first.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. When you look at this defense, they're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. He'll try and do this himself. And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the first down marker.
A gain of only a yard. It's 4th down.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
That'll give them 8 that time. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Back to throw. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
2nd and 4. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. 53 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 4. Now a handoff up the middle. Shelby. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 19 yards that time for number 19.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
That's good for a first down. Sets up 1st down and goal to go.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. It's the fullback. His first rushing touchdown of the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Well, fans of old school football, they got to be loving this partner. All 3 drives so far have ended in a touchdown, and all 3 on the ground.
And when you say fans of old school football, count me in, because you just don't see ground games dominate the scoring or pounding the rock like this anymore. To me, this is refreshing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. Looking to throw. Leonard. And he will find his man on the outside.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
They go play action here on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
The 46-yard line.
Back to throw. Leonard.
Up 2nd and 4.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going. The visitors' offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
A good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's
out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to it, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From the 25, here's a 2nd and 7. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Only a couple there, so he'll be brought down about the 28. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here is 3rd down and 4. Looking to throw. Leonard. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, you've got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequence things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback third line, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well. That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Taken in at the 22. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10.
Number 10, incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Brings up third down and
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Off play action. Leonard. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. They'll look to throw again. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And this one nearly picked off. Yeah, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
First down and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the 3rd quarter as we're ready to kick off the 2nd half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the 2nd half. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this 2nd half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And it's a fumble. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Well, CD, that's one of those plays you put a mark by. I mean, that could be a big momentum swing here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Yeah, we may have to revisit it, right? Because if that drive ends up in the end zone, they're sitting pretty at that point. Now, instead, it's a two-score game. That has a chance to tighten up considerably.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
The previous play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On first down, it's Chambers. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
46-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Chambers. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 89 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now an option play, and he'll keep it. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 32-yard line.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. 7th play in the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Results in a first down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
At the 8-yard line.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll set up to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
4 yards on the pickup. It's now
they'll look to throw here. And it's caught. Touchdown. From 4 yards out. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 23-yard line.
Back to throw. Leonard. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
First down. First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
They'll run on first down. Mooney. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun, Leonard. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Up the middle they go. It's Mooney. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
It's 3rd and 10.
Operating from the gun, Leonard. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard.
Brings up 2nd and a yard. At the 9-yard line.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. So a very important first drive of the third quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, where was this in the first half? Because if they got a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that is the kind of drive that sends a message to the other side. We're going to be here, and we're going to battle you to the end.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 115 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
First down.
On first down, Shelby. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Now a 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
He'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down.
It's a gain of 10. Result is a first down.
And they'll try to run the option here. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And he'll decide to keep this once more. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 29-yard line.
Looking to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
They bring their punter out there now as he's on to kick it away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
And now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime.
We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the fourth quarter. They'll look to throw here on first down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
At the 37-yard line.
Looking to throw.
Leonard. And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Leonard. And he comes back with one complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Back to throw again. He finds his man, complete. That's Moody.
From the 44-yard line, here's second down and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 44-yard line.
Looking to throw.
Leonard.
Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
And a first down. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Back to throw.
Leonard. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
And the slot man goes in motion left. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
The offense on third down tonight, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And he's going to be touched down right at the line of scrimmage.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2, first down marker at the 5-yard line.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2.
To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete. That has to feel like a very unsatisfying drive, right? You move the ball all that way, and then you can't convert on third down.
But it was satisfying up until that point. Almost like a great movie, and then the film cuts out before the big ending.
And his kick is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 129 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Right back to him on first down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They work now on 2nd and 9. He'll drop to throw. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Dancing away at the 35. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line.
10 yards on the pickup.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Chambers. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 7 yards there and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Chambers. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves his sticks. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now he'll try to run with this. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down.
It's 2nd and 8.
On play action, they'll throw. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
So that drive goes 8 plays. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
2nd and long. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 16.
Looking to throw. Leonard. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Over the middle, it's complete. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
Up the middle they go. Moody.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Back to throw now on 1st down. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 32-yard line.
Back to throw. Leonard. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Looking to throw. Leonard. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
What a kickoff to the week this has been. Now a big play. It's 3rd down.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. 30 yards. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit.
So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
Point after, right down the middle. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
35. Our home team, 27.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. But now this offense comes back out onto the field. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now, they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up.
So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the 1st down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Skirts by him at the 35. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. They'll start on the ground here on first down. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. First and 10 here. Back to throw. Trotty. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A great effort there. 41 yards. And his guy's now just a 2-point conversion away from tying us up.
The touchdown is huge, but the focus now is on the 2-point play. I don't want to say they have a cushion here, but if they don't get it, they still have a chance for onside kick.
They would need some big-time help, but you're right. There would be a shot, but the focus right now on that 2-point conversion. They'll try and throw for it. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th. Huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job 1 was taken care of. The 2-point conversion to get this thing tied.
And able to get this out to the 25. Here's first and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking downfield for Pollard. And he's got it inside the 10. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Now first and goal. On the give, this is their fullback. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Williams. Touchdown. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Shifts by him. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The situation for him offensively as follows. Down by 7, 56 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. They'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
He'll look to throw. But he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
A loss of 6 yards brings up 3rd and
back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
And 26 seconds now as the spike comes in.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
He's back to throw.
Now he's going to step up and run. Oh, what a nice tackle there. That will hardly move the needle at all offensively. A very short gain.
Makes it 3rd and 8.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out. And a 5-yard penalty.
That flag got to push him back 5. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for our visitors, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home